Hey guys, it's me Dave. It's 9/15/2022, so I thought I'd do a little video. The day did not go very well today as far as targeting goes. Um, they made me throw up in the morning. I woke up and fed the dogs and stuff. They made me throw up all over the place. Had to clean that up and everything else, and they can hit you and make your stomach upset and where you feel like throwing up all over the place. And it's the same way with making you run to the bathroom. I was ready to call for help. It's going to happen one of these days. I know I've been saying this for a while. It's going to happen. It will happen eventually. I will go down to the hospital. Now, when you talk about being locked up and stuff like that, there's only so many times they're going to lock you up, you guys. There's only so many times they want you and they're going to lock you up. Like Romola D, like myself, Jeff Medor, probably Kyle, Vulcan Wolverine, I think was in a fake psych ward. He just doesn't realize it. But all of us have kind of been in a fake psych ward, mental ward, where the staff is involved. Jeff Medor, they were showing pictures of him between the nurses and everything else. Romola D was in a fake psych ward. You know, um, it's all scripted actors, everything, all perps. Myself, I was in a fake psych ward. That's what they do to big targets, if you're a big target. Scripted conversations, provoking, all they do all kinds of stuff to you. Do stuff to your food, spit in your food or whatever, put hair in your food. They did that to me in the psych ward, So it's all fake, and there's a good chance you'll never receive a bill. There's a good chance you'll never receive a bill from being locked up. I never received a bill. I've never even seen a bill to show how much this stuff cost. It's all fake. They take over the hospital. That's what they do. And it costs lots of money to get us locked up. But so my targeting was bad today. I spent most of the time in bed. I got up. I had my relative is getting a new tranny in her truck right now. Today and tomorrow, her truck. I mean, can you believe this? She brought her truck in this afternoon, and they're gonna start working on it right now. And then, like, they're gonna have her truck done tomorrow with a rebuilt tranny. Can you believe how fast that is? It's unreal. So she'll get her truck back tomorrow already, tomorrow night, probably. With a rebuilt transmission. The truck will be like new now. She has over $20,000 in this truck. Besides buying it, and stuff. But okay, so I want to talk about some things, in the community and everything else. We got people on Facebook and even those calls are in the community. Okay, general people. They go on Facebook or whatever, and they talk about doing drugs and stuff. Whether they're real or not, that makes us look bad. I don't think anybody should talk about doing drugs. Even if you're pro marijuana or whatever, I wouldn't. I would keep that to yourself. I wouldn't talk about that stuff. It gives the group a bad name. So I went to a call tonight, and there was a guy talking about he does drugs and he buys drugs through his email and everything else. He talks like he's a big druggie and a big drunk. You know, um, Whether he really is or not, he sounds very down to earth and intelligent. I doubt it that he's really a drug addict. He doesn't sound like it. Okay, but this is what they do to discredit us in these programs. They've been doing it for years, if you ever done your research on the stuff, if you're a real TI and you ever done your research on what they do to us now, and you do your research and you can go back to COINTELPRO back in the 60s and 70s or whatever. They're doing the same stuff. You know why they're doing the same stuff is because it works, you guys. They're doing the same stuff because it discredits the group. It discredits the group. Now, why would someone come on here and say, I'm a big drug addict and I buy drugs and I do drugs and I drink all day long and I'm just a big loser, basically? Why would you tell everyone that on a call? What does that have to do with targeting? Well, I do it because I'm dealing with my targeting or whatever. I have a few drinks every now and then to deal with my targeting. I don't come on, on the weekends I'll say I'll have a drink or whatever, but I don't come on and say I'm a raging alcoholic and all this stuff. Why would I do that? It would make us all look bad. They're using the same old tricks as that they did in the 60s. If you've done your research, okay? That's what they do. They do the same old tricks. COINTELPRO. It's not that hard to figure out, you guys. So anyway, that's that. But as far as the program goes, the thing I thought about today is, I was watching TV today, and the biggest law firm in America is they sued the government or whatever, and they got billions. So anybody who has to file a claim with medical issues when they're in the military or whatever can file a claim and get money and all this stuff. That's gonna be us someday, you guys. Someday that's gonna be us. They won't be able to hold this back forever, you guys. This will come out, and the thing is that one of the biggest law firms in America is gonna take our cases on. And they're gonna say something's wrong, something's being wrong, these people are being hurt, stuff, and they're gonna sue the government probably for trillions, because of all the victims. We gotta get money. We gotta get some money here, some good money. All the torture and stuff we're going through. These people that are torturing us don't care about anything. They're not worried about getting caught. They're not worried about anything, you guys. But we are being hurt and we deserve compensation. Someday it's gonna happen, you guys. You're gonna see a commercial on TV from one of the biggest law firms in the world, in the country, and they're gonna say, are you a targeted individual? Have you been hit with microwave weapons? Have you been hit with Havana syndrome? Do you have injuries? Have you been falsely diagnosed with a mental illness? Someday that's going to happen, you guys. Someday that's going to happen. Someday we will get help. And they're going to sue the government for trillions, or billions, for all the victims. And we'll probably have to go there and file a claim and tell them our story and prove our injuries and our medical records and everything else. We've been falsely diagnosed and everything else. Someday that's going to be us. There's going to be commercials on TV, you guys, someday, from law firms, and they're going to say, are you a targeted individual? Have you been falsely diagnosed? Have you been hit with pulse microwave weapons and all this stuff? Someday that's going to happen, and these guys will pay for this sooner or later. They might be 70 years old. They might be 70, okay, but they're going to live out the last years of their life in prison. That's just the way it's going to work. They're going to live out their last days of their life in prison. And that's the way it works. The Nazis have done that. I remember being, 30 years ago, watching 2020 on NBC or ABC or whatever, and they have tracked down these Nazis that tortured people in the Nazi camp and whatever else. Some of them were living in America. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old you are, you guys. It doesn't matter how old they are. They could be in their 90s. They will get prosecuted for this. And they will get prosecuted for this. It doesn't matter if they're 90 years old or 80 years old or 70 years old. they're gonna pay for this one of these days, and we're gonna get justice one of these days. One of these days, this will come out, and we're gonna get justice. And the lawyers, these big lawyers, are gonna be all over this. They're gonna be all over this when this comes out. And that's what's going to happen someday. You're gonna see a commercial on TV from a big law firm, one of the biggest in America, and you're gonna say, "Hey, are you targeted individuals? Were you tortured between 1960 and 2022? You know, have you been falsely diagnosed? Do you have any long-term medical conditions that you're dealing with? You know, how long? You know, and that's the way this is gonna play out, I think." You know, I think one of these days we're going to get help, and that's the way it's going to work. And these lawyers are going to be all over it. They're going to be all over it because they can make a ton of money, because there's so many victims, and that's the way it's going to work. And they'll be sued, and the government will be sued for billions, if not trillions. You know, because there's so many victims going through this and being hurt and everything else. I think my relative's being hit. She had diarrhea tonight, you know, and I told her, I said, I'm like, are you sure you're not getting hit with these weapons? Oh, I don't think so. I don't, you know, I mean, you know, these guys are out of control right now. They're hitting both of us, I think. Is it going to stop? What's it going to take to stop it? Is it going to take me going to the hospital? In a desperate move last night, I called the FBI. We have an FBI down here in Duluth. I called the FBI and I said I'm in torture for 5 months, and you know, I said I reported them to multiple people in government and everything else, and this guy's making me run to the bathroom all the time and all this stuff. He just doesn't stop. He's not afraid of anybody. He's not afraid of the CIA. He's not afraid of the FBI. He's not afraid of any government agency in the world, you know, and you know, this guy's just a government contractor. You know, they could cut him off tomorrow. They cut him off tonight. Cut his money off, and he won't have anything. So he's very arrogant, as far as I can tell. You know, but I was desperate, so I left a message at the FBI office downtown. You know, and stuff, and they made me throw up this morning. I was tired all day. Spent most of the day in bed. It's been miserable. Why am I getting hit so hard for the last 5 months? I have no idea. All I did was make a comment on a video and say that my gang stalking lightened up, the perps moved out and all this stuff. And now the perps are back, and I'm getting nailed. I am getting nailed for the last 5 months. So that's what's going on with me. Anyway, someday, you guys, we're going to get big people involved, and they're going to be big, powerful lawyers, I think, and they will take on the government, and they will get compensation for us, and they will get this stop. Someday that will happen. Maybe we should start writing to the big lawyers, the biggest law firm, the biggest injury law firm in America, because we are injured. There's probably a chance we have brain damage and other issues. We could have long-term issues from this, cancers and you know, and stuff like that. We don't know what's going to happen in long term with us. But anyway, so that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to cut this off. I hope you guys doing well. Hang in there. Let's get this done somehow. You know, let's be creative. Let's think outside the box. Let's write to everyone. What do we have to lose? Let's write to everyone. Maybe we should write to these big lawyers and tell them what's going on with us. And there's thousands of us. And if they're not afraid of the government, maybe they'll take them on. You know, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to cut this off. I'll talk to you guys later.